Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I wanted to talk today about the energies, the astral themes, the current currents. So you may find that there are people that are trying to keep you from speaking your truth because your truth apparently hurts. When you speak your truth, meaning when you call out the things as they are, not for your own ego's sake, but because you decide to have a boundary or because you decide to stand on your truth that came through from your efforts, that came through from your blood and tears, that came through from your experiences, and they want to shun that, or they want to silence that, or they want to act like, oh no, this message has been told over and over again before in different ways. Yeah, that is true, but you're here saying it also, but other people are taking credit. Other people are taking it as if they were the author of your story. Okay? Your story is a big story. And you're aware of that. And they are aware of that. And because they're aware of that, they're doing everything possible to pretend like they don't see it. They don't see it. They don't see anything you're doing. Nope. Nope, I didn't see it. I don't see how you've improved on this. Nope. I don't see how you've grown this. Nope. I don't see how you're doing this on your own without support. Yet, here they are, supported, but no one is taking any accountability for their lack of action towards creating a better way to do things in life, or creating a better unit, or creating a better system, or creating a better way forward that everyone can grow in. No, what everyone is doing is looking out for their own self-interest and fuck everyone else. It's like, do this, everybody, oh well. But when they want to act like that's what you're doing, here's the difference. They say, oh well. It's not like they say, hey, I have this plan, and this is my plan for all of us, and this is what I want us all to do. They never did that, but you did. You spoke to each and every one of your team members. You talked to each and every one of the people that you wanted to align with. You gathered each and every individual that you wanted to coalesce with, or to work together with. You reached out to them. And did they respond? Did they say, yeah, let's do this and follow through? Not a single one. Not a single one believed in your vision. Not a single one believed in what you were talking about. Not a single one was interested. Whatever you were talking about to them looked like foolishness. So when you went through what they're experiencing now, which is what? Busting your ass. The harder you work, the less you have to show for. The harder you work, the less you got going on that you can actually enjoy. The harder you work, the less available you are to participate in the things that you're working that hard for. So if you're busting your ass because you want to give your kids a good life, but you can never enjoy the good life you're giving your kids because you're too tired, too sick, too busy, too stressed, too worried, then you're not doing it right, are you? You're not doing it correctly. You're falling for the propaganda, you're falling for the programs, you're falling for society's ways of doing things. So when you have someone like me that went hard on, oh, let me do this the way society says to do it. Let me go for this the way society said to do this. Let me do things good the way society said to do this. And nothing works? Oh, wait, you're telling me I'm supposed to be evil, bad, wrong, lazy, stupid? That's the way it works? Okay, then. That's how I get benefits? That's how I get treated right? That's how I get respected, by being negative? Then I'm negative, bitch. I'm negative too. That's it. Because when I try to be positive, somehow that means I'm doing too much. I'm too masculine, or oh, you think you're always right. But was I wrong? What kind of courage do you think it takes to walk away from a salaried employment? What kind of courage do you think it takes to let go of a badge that says you have some kind of authority in society, or you have some sort of prestige in society, or you have some kind of position that puts you in a place to be respected, and yet you walk away from that. It's supposed to say that whatever you stand on is beyond that. Whatever you're standing on is beyond that if you were willing to walk away from it. What does it say when you walk away from a bad spouse, a bad marriage, a bad home life? What does that say? It's supposed to say you had courage. It's supposed to say that you had the strength to trust and have faith. But instead, what do they see? They see, oh, I wonder what happened. Of course she probably got fired. Of course she probably quit. Of course she probably got dumped. Of course she probably... No, but they even though they know every day that you told them the problems you were facing, the unfairness, the injustice, every time you explain to them all the things that you're calling out, and instead of them saying, you know, I kind of went through something similar, you know, I can understand, you know, this is how I would handle it. Their choice of handling, oh, I would just leave it right away. No, don't ever tolerate that. Oh, hell no, if it was me, if it was me, I would do this and I would do that. That's what they say. And then you follow through and you do what they tell you. You're like, you know what, you're right. I should leave. Damn right, I should stand on that. Damn right, I should not tolerate that. When you actually do it, they don't talk about how challenging it is to leave your family that was dysfunctional because your spouse was dysfunctional, to walk away from security, to walk away from the people you know, the places you know, the things that you know, to go do something else or be somewhere else where you can gather and take care of yourself the right way, away from all the pressures of people telling you that, yeah, that's how you should do it, but when you do it, there's no support there. If they had done it truly themselves, they would know what they were telling you to do. So when I tell someone, don't tolerate this, I don't make it sound easy at all. You think it's easy to leave a relationship that you're used to? But what do you think is easier? To stay in a bad relationship that every day takes your life away because no matter what you say, no matter what you do, this person doesn't seem to hear or care about how you feel? And you're telling them, I don't feel right, and their solution to you not feeling right is to continue to do the things that are hurting you? That's not love, that's not care, that's not you looking out for yourself, because if it's happening to you, it's going to happen to your subordinates or your children. It's going to happen to them too. The environment that you live in, that you exist in, that you work in, really does affect how you live your life. The environment you're in dictates how healthy you become. And if your environment is full of chaos, if your environment is full of toxicity, if your environment is full of negativity, and there's nothing there creating order, there's nothing there creating a system, there's nothing there building something sustainable, it's all going to go down the drain. And despite saying that, despite proving that, despite showing that you can go through that and survive, despite all of that, they'll still act like you did something wrong when you are standing on your truth. And when you say, no, I don't tolerate that. I don't want that around me. Not because I can deal with you, but I don't have to deal with you. It's a choice. I don't have to deal with you if all you bring is problems. I don't have to deal with you if all you bring me is a projection of sickness. I don't have to deal with you if all you bring me is a projection of hate and envy and jealousy. I don't have to deal with you if all you want to do is offer me something only to say, hey, can you do this for me? Thinking that I'm supposed to say yes because you did a favor. Even if I ask you, are you sure you want to do this? It's okay. I don't need it. I don't want it. Is it really a gift? Is it really out of I just want to share with you? I just bought my kids new jackets. Should they be worried that in a week I'm going to say, hey guys, can you go buy me this thing for me or do this thing for me? Well, I bought you a jacket. I thought it was a gift, Mom. Well, obviously, a gift is a gift. Let's not pretend that when some people give gifts, that what they're really doing is they're trying to buy your loyalty. They're trying to buy your vote. They're trying to buy your assistance, your help. It's like, here, I'm going to give you this little thing here so you could do this thing for me. This thing that you're doing for me is actually saving me a ton of money. But you don't know that. I won't tell you that. And that's how they operate. They know that little effort that you do with engaging with them, that little exchange that you do with them, benefits them far more than it benefits you. But they won't show you that. They won't tell you that. They'll act like they're doing you a favor until you cut them off and say, no thanks, I don't want it. No thanks, I don't need it. No, it's good. Take all that, take all that good energy you got going on, right? All that beautiful gift giving you got going on. Take all that kindness and goodness you got. Go give it to, no. Give it to somebody else. Somebody else should have that. Give it to them. Watch how they unhinge. Watch how quickly they fall apart. Because it was never true that they were doing you a favor. The fact is you were doing them a favor at a very low cost to them. And they know that. That's why they're mad now. Why you blocking me? And talking shit? Because that's all they can do. I mean, nobody's doing it on purpose. I mean, it's that simple. Let's keep it real. Don't pretend that you're doing me a favor when you know I have done you a bigger favor. And you know what's funny? They could tell you privately, to you personally, what a great favor you do. But they'll go to other people and talk about how what you are is worthless to them. How it's nothing. You don't do shit for them. You ain't shit to them. You've never been nobody to them. You should be lucky that they even look your way. And you know, just like they know, that they're full of shit. Because they don't do that in real time when you're there. They would never say that in front of you. They can never, to those people that they love to talk to about you standing there, they can never say that. And you know what's interesting? They don't say it after they've badmouthed you to the whole group. In a situation where you actually are with them, you know how dumb and stupid they would look to be engaging with you as if they never said that about you? Acting like no. So for example, if I told one person, I don't really, want to deal with this person because I don't like how they acted. I don't know how I'm going to be when I see them. The next time I see them, I might have to say something, like, all right, so I can take your non-apology, your pretense apology that was never really an apology, and we'll act like nothing ever happened. But when I'm there with you and face to face, you want to see the truth? The truth is that the hypocrisy can't be for very long. The conversation has to be had. Hey, you remember what you did that last time? I didn't really like that. And that's a conversation they can't have. That's a conversation they actually cannot have because they can't control their emotions. They can't hear the truth because they know exactly what it's going to lead to. It's going to lead to them getting defensive, them getting hostile, them getting loud, them getting angry, them talking trash, them saying things that are going to be permanent, them saying things that are going to really prove to everyone exactly why you weren't messing with them to begin with. The reason why there was a fallout to begin with. If you're willing to speak up and say, yeah, I was talking to such and such, and I was letting them know that I really am pissed off at you. I really don't like what you did. I don't like how you handled it. I think you were acting like a fool. Whatever the case might be, what I say to this person behind your back, you best believe when I'm in your face and I have the opportunity to talk to you about it, I'm going to tell you. And that's the thing that they don't like, because when you do that, privately they act like they hear you. Okay, I understand. I hear you. But behind your back, they'll go and tell everybody how evil you were, how despicable you were, how tyrannical and how crazy you are, and how fucked up you are. calling the kettle black. What is that? Is that how you say it? I don't know. That's what they do. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. This bothers you, right? What I'm doing bothers you. Is it because what I'm doing has impact on you? How does what I'm doing with myself impact you? And why do you assume that this thing that I'm doing is something you do too? And the person you're talking shit to, they do it too. So you got two stupid ass people that do this, smoke herb, have smoked herb for centuries, and you just started smoking a few years, and they have the audacity to say she needs to stop smoking because she's crazy. Meanwhile, they smoke like addicts every day. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? Or you'll have someone that's addicted to porn, or someone that's addicted to prostitutes, or someone that's addicted to cheating, or someone that's addicted to stealing, and they will actually point the finger at you because you smoke. Meanwhile, their lives are havoc, chaotic, and consistently repeating the same mistake. And you can show how you've changed over and over and over again and adapted to circumstances and have just learned to manage your life. It's like the inconsistencies of life are a part of life. So it's just a matter, can I evolve and change and shift when necessary? Or am I going to stay stagnant and stay stuck in this belief and in this debate with you because it's just easier than moving forward with my life? I'm not going to stay in this debate with you. That system that you guys created online to get the divine feminine, the high priestesses, to divulge what we know so that you guys can plan better attacks against us is kind of stupid, actually. Because if you follow through with the message from the divine feminine, you'll find out that the truth that resonates is provable. The truth that resonates, if you follow it, you will actually be a proper leader. But the fact that it takes a lot and they can't do it, that's why they do this. That's why that's all they have. Getting pissed off, talking trash, talking shit, because at the end of the day they have to acknowledge and admit that your way is correct. That your way is correct. It doesn't have to be the best way for them, but your way is correct. There's no wrongdoing in what you're doing because A, it doesn't affect them negatively. It doesn't impact them negatively. It has nothing to do with them unless they want it to be about them. So nothing is being said that's so taboo. They just want to pretend it's taboo. They want to pretend it's taboo so that other people can discredit you and act like you have. So in other words, when there's a full disclosure of alien stuff and government conspiracies and all of that, you got governors talking, you got military personnel, naval personnel talking about it. You have an entire freaking documentary, and your own family member will watch that knowing your participation in that system, your experience with those phenomenons, what you actively are doing in life, and how that same thing, being online, having a channel, speaking my truth, has affected me. How those same systems have come against me. They were there when I was getting those attacks. They were there when I was wondering, why are they being so hostile on me online? Like, I'm just another person trying to do what everybody else is doing online. Have my own lane. Stay in my own lane, do my own thing, and maybe collaborate with other people that have the same interest. build my own system that works for me. Talk about my life lessons, my choices, and how I feel that I went from being groomed to being nothing but a man, basically, in action. And I don't mean that like lightly. I mean that in a lot of ways. It's like, no, when they talk about the shift, changing the minds, it's like, can we put you in a feminine mind? Can we put you in a masculine mind? And if we can manipulate you that way, can we get you to act like this behavior primarily, or can we get you to act like that behavior primarily? You'll have, you know what I mean? You'll have people in your own life forgetting who you are. And having expectations for you that they don't have for themselves. And I forgot who it was that was talking about it, but they were discussing like having these men and women's sports. That's not just an analogy, or that's not just an actual event. That's also an analogy in real time life, when you have a man expecting you to lift the car, knowing that he could probably lift more than you. That didn't make, I know, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's like, I'll say this again, I said in a previous video, just because I can do something doesn't mean I should do it. Just because I do something when push comes to shove, that I feel like I have no other choice because my personal limitations say this is how you have to be to survive, well then guess what? Then I'm going to do what I have to do to survive, only to learn that either I could have done it better, or that it worked, or that it didn't work. You know what I mean? Like, but I at least can say, okay, this method working for the government, working for a corporation, working hard, living on my own income and trying to support a family on one income, and then you think, well, if I increase my income, I can make it for I have to raise my income to compensate for the lack of the codependency of a second partner and what they were contributing to the dynamic. And I did that. So if I was able to lower my standards, and by standards I mean I went from living in a house to living in an apartment. I went from having a decent brand new car to having now an older model car that I don't have payments on. If I went from having credit cards to now not using credit cards because it lowered my responsibilities, how much I had to put out just to survive. And I harvested my energy. In other words, I took my energy and I applied those energies into something else, my YouTube channel. Somehow, some way, I'm making a better living on lower means, and I'm happier, and I'm healthier, and I'm not dependent on anyone to mentally support me, emotionally support me, physically support me. I don't live off what anybody is doing for me, other than those entities that need to work for me based on what I've already put out into the system. Whatever I put out into the system, I'm getting back. Whatever is owed to me has come to me, or is coming to me. I put in years of labor. I put in years of education. I put in years of sacrifice. I put in years of working hard. I put in years of sitting it out and learning, relearning and readapting and redoing things so that it can be effective, and so that my actions are aligned with how I think and how I feel, and I can stand on it without crying about it, without feeling doubt as to what's important in my life and what matters most in my life, and what I can believe is a standard of dignity and respect that I should have. Because if I'm doing all of that alone, then you in that pretty house with your spouse and the nanny or the granny and the family and the money, you can't hear one conversation. Oh my God, I'm gonna stress out. With all that support and your stress, then maybe you got a little more that you're dealing with that you care to acknowledge. Maybe you can't handle as much as you've taken on. Maybe just because you're holding it together, it doesn't necessarily mean you're actually holding it together. You're pretending really well and it's only a matter of time before you do what? You say, fuck it, I can't do this anymore. Because it's not realistic. It's not the demand to continue to expand without the sustenance there doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I think it's when you talk this way, or when you tell people the things as they are, in terms of like, listen, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. But when there's nobody there to do it for you, make sure you can do it on your own. When there's nobody there for you, make sure you know what to do. Or what are you going to do? Just sit there like a bird in a nest waiting for somebody to feed them? I'll just wait for someone to feed me. Maybe I'll just die here while I wait to be fed. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I mean, eventually you're like, shit, it doesn't seem like anybody's gonna come around here. I'm getting kind of hungry. Let me see how I fly off this nest. I remember, I think I saw my mom doing this. I think I saw my dad doing this when they left. Maybe I should learn to fucking fly. Maybe I should trust my instincts and do what my instincts call me to do. But sitting there and waiting to be prey is not an option. And it seems like that's what they're projecting. Like that's what you're supposed to kind of look like. I'm so helpless. I'm just this prey. Or God forbid, you're like, I'm not helpless. I can take care of myself. Just because I can doesn't mean I want to. It would be great if somebody wants to take care of me really well. That would be great. But I'm not obligating nobody to do that, and I'm not staying in a circumstance with somebody to make it look like that's what they do, knowing full well that's not what they do, and then be like, this isn't that. This isn't that. Why am I waiting for this to be that when it's not that? And it's like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna, maybe you should just go, because you're really not what you said you were. So just go. I'm not gonna hold you here. Clearly you don't want to be that. So if you don't want to be that, then don't be that. But go be what you are somewhere else, because that's not what I wanted. And that's fair. Nobody's obligated to nobody. You know how many people obligate themselves to people? You know how many jobs obligate people to jobs? And it's like, under false pretense. Yeah, the benefits you're going to get are going to be great. The people you're going to work with are going to be wonderful. And you're going to love this job. And the second you get there, you realize you're getting played, or you're getting used and abused. And you're like, oh my God. But no, you keep it up because you want a sign of good faith. Or maybe it's because I'm new. Maybe because I'm being challenged to rise above. And you rise above, and then you realize, wait a second, this rising above thing had nothing to do with earning my spot here with you. It had to do with keep going. Like, how much more can you milk that cow? Like, milk it for all it's got kind of energy. And that's what they will do. They'll abuse and use until they can't use and drain you no more. And that was the lesson. So it's like until no end. It's like nothing. They don't make improvements. You bring up solutions. Like like when COVID hit and people started working from home. How is it that they made it so easy to put that system in place, but prior to that, they had such strict rules over who could work from home, despite there being no need to be in an office environment necessarily. As long as the job gets done, who cares how it's getting done? As long as it's getting done correctly, as long as it's getting done in time. Why do you care if I want to do paperwork or if I want to be on my computer all day typing and I want to do it in my pajamas? as long as you get the numbers you're asking for, as long as you get the quota you're looking for, as long as you get the work done by the time frame that you ask for the work to be done, what is everything else about? Control. Everything else is about control and monitoring, control and monitoring. Oh no, let's have 25 billion meetings online. Oh no, let's meet in the office. We got to look at each other. We got to see each other. We got to pretend to like each other. No, I don't. I don't have to be surrounded by people. Now, am I dealing with the customer base face to face? Okay, that's a different story. You choose the job you like to do. Some people like to deal with people face to face. Some people want to work with people all day. Some people don't. And in the same way, in relationships, I don't need a relationship to just fucking stare at you all day. I don't need a relationship for you to do some shit for me all day. To want a relationship is to basically want to be with somebody that's compatible with you. Oh, I enjoy your company. I would like to be with you a lot. That's a relationship. I enjoy your company. I like doing things with you. And I really like you a lot. Okay, then that's a fucking relationship. Why are people complicating things? Like, am I obligated when I decided that and suddenly I don't like you that much anymore? And I have justification as to why? Is it because maybe you're not presenting what you presented at the beginning? You're not presenting it now? And maybe I called you out on it 1 billion times and you ignored them all the time? So if my partner told me, listen, you came into this game, you were always happy and you were always this, but now all of a sudden you're not doing what you said you were doing, or you're not doing as much as what you were doing in terms of pleasing. But the question is, did anything change? Oh, what? Having children. Oh, the job changed. Oh, family pressures. So yeah, some things did change. Address that. The things that changed, that caused the connection to fade. And instead of complaining why this person isn't doing it, what are you doing to make sure that this person isn't overwhelmed to the point that they can no longer engage with you the way that they started out? The enthusiasm, and maybe it's not there for another reason. Maybe it's not there because are you as enthused? Are you as there as you said you were? Like, let's have that conversation. But no, it's always a one-sided argument. But at least be willing to have the chat. But no people want to have that chat. They just don't want to have that conversation. They want to act like it's normal. Like, we know people change. We know people grow into new patterns. We know people want to establish new ways of doing things. We know people get tired of routines. Okay, but what's the foundation based on? Is the foundation of the relationship based on, I like you and I like being with you. I don't like when you do this, because when you do this, it makes us less connected. Or when you do this, it makes you hostile towards me. Or when you do this, it makes me feel that we're not as connected as I thought we were. If you can't have those conversations, really, honestly, without all the bullshit like, oh, why you gotta talk shit, arguing and just deferring it like it's meaningless. Like how somebody feels doesn't mean anything. You can't be that fucking dense. You can't be that fucking slow in life. You think people argue with you because they don't like you, or are they arguing with you because they're trying to find a middle ground to get along with you, because you're making it challenging to be liked? If you're making it challenging to be liked, it's not because you're unlikable, it's because you're choosing to be unlikable. You're acting in unlikable ways towards me, and I'm letting you know, hey, you acted or you said that you liked me. So why are you acting so unlikable towards me? That's a reasonable question to ask. If we're supposed to get along, or we're supposed to work together, or we're supposed to be a team, or we're supposed to be on the same side, or we're supposed to be for the same thing, or we're supposed to want the same vision, then we should be able to have a conversation and clear the air and say what we need to say without it actually being a problem, because it should be in the interest of everyone for that to be. For us to actually like each other, for us to actually get along, for us to actually care about one another, for us to actually want what's best for each other, because if we're all good, then we're all good. But you don't have that in real life. It's not in real life that you can have people that generally have the same goal. This is why the military was a fun structure for me. People would be like, oh, you got to be, maybe you got brainwashed, or you're stupid, or you're just a follower. No, I appreciated, number one, I appreciated the challenge in life to improve my mindset, to improve how I move, to improve behaving in ways that are organized. That to me is something I value, but a lot of people don't value that for whatever reason. I can't understand. Maybe I'm just that weird. But I know a lot of people that want that. They just don't have the ability to behave consistently that way. So it's like you tell someone, let's go to the gym, and you take them to the gym, and after 2 days, they'll commit and say, yes, we're going to do this every day for a month. And you have to either, I don't think you have to stay on top of them about it. They make their choice. They have to want to commit, and everything in life. You can't, no matter how much you try to prove to someone or enforce, look, this is what's best. At the end of the day, the only thing that's going to make somebody change is their desire to want to change. So if somebody wants to be, and if somebody wants to, whatever they want to do, they want to do a certain career, you don't have to fucking beg them to go. You don't have to make it easy for them to apply. You don't have to do any of that. Like, the instinct to chase what you want is going to be there. But if you already chase what you want and you got blocked, and you tried to have that conversation and that conversation got blocked, I think that's pretty much enough to say, okay, I'm not chasing this anymore. It's like, all right, I got the memo. I'm not chasing that. I'm not chasing that in this area with you. I'm not going after. This job, I'm not going after. That doesn't mean my whole drive to do that is done. My drive to do that is still there, just not for you, just not with you, just not about you, just not in that space. So, is that a reason to try to destroy someone's reputation? Is that a reason to try to badmouth someone? Is that a reason to have a tantrum and try to force a rule over me that says I have to? I don't have to do shit. So thank you. Thank you, universe, for the freedom of speech. Bye.